にちは、安藤宗です。これから皆さんと一緒に選手たちの熱い展開を見るのがすっごい楽しみです。一緒に盛り上げていきましょうね。
こんにちは、モーターゲームズガールズの伊藤静奈です。今年はどんな熱いドラマが待ち構えているのでしょうか。皆さんと一緒に楽しく盛り上げていきたいです。よろしくお願いします。
こんにちは、立花まさきです。みんなで楽しんでいきましょう。
はい、柳瀬葉月です。去年に引き続き今年も会場を盛り上げられたらなと思っております。よろしくお願いいたします。
モーターゲームズガールズの瀬戸マリアです。今年もたくさん盛り上げていきたいと思いますので、皆さん一緒に応援していきましょう。
Hello everyone、こんにちは、大島まりなです。唯一のバイリンガルとして元気いっぱい頑張っていきたいと思います。皆さんで一緒に盛り上げましょう。
革新のカーボンベゼル、Bluetooth 搭載 G-SHOCK カシオ。
The RSR Active Series is first launched for select Lexus and Toyota models. Other applications that are under development include Japanese and European car models.
RSR is the ultimate race coilover suspension, and they also offer comfortable rides for the street. Iyo RSR Ichiban.
86BRZ レース2019最終戦、岡山国際サーキット第2ヒートを制したのは、第1ヒートに続いて KTMS86 谷内信輝となった。
今までの常識を超えた録画領域、360度全方位を記録する360度カメラ搭載、日本製ドライブレコーダー HDR360C コムテック。
これが噂のバリバリバリのバリのタイヤ。
斉藤ローケージ。
ホットウィールは1968年に販売を開始し、2018年に発売50周年を迎えた販売台数世界一の大キャストカーブランドです。年間約400種類のラインナップとなるベーシックカーからコレクターに人気のプレミアムカーなど幅広い商品ラインナップが揃っています。今回フォーミュラドリフト仕様のシルビアも会場で販売しているので、ぜひチェックしてください。
ねえねえ、雨の日の運転ってちょっぴり心配だよね。いざという時にちゃんと止まれるタイヤ、ウェット A。 ウェット A。
ウェットグリップ性能 A のタイヤなら雨でもしっかり止まれて高い安全性を発揮。滑りやすい濡れた路面でもより
安心なやる。
横浜。
革新のカーボンベゼル。Bluetooth 搭載 G-SHOCK カシオ。The brightness called brilliant. Valenti.
クオリティオブジャパニーズクラフトマンシップ。グリッド。
What's up guys, it's Frederick Ospo and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Iyo RSR Ichiban.
伝統と革新、小倉クラッチのテクノロジーを凝縮。チャンピオンを取るためのクラッチ、小倉レーシングクラッチ ORC。
究極の静かさと安全性。オンロード、オフロード、世界中で活躍するケンダ。その信頼を支える 静音性、安定性と耐摩耗性、世界が認めた技術と信頼を街乗りである。高品質と納得の価格、タイヤのポテンシャルをあなたに。ケンダ。
The brightness, called brilliant, blinding and vivid. Valenti.
ねえねえ、雨の日の運転ってちょっぴり心配だよね。いざという時にちゃんと止まれるタイヤ、ウェット A。 ウェット A。
ウェットグリップ性能 A のタイヤなら雨でもしっかり止まれて高い安全性を発揮。滑りやすい濡れた路面でもより
安心なやる。
横浜。
革新のカーボンベゼル。Bluetooth 搭載 G-SHOCK カシオ。
The brightness, called brilliant. Valenti.
クオリティオブジャパニーズクラフトマンシップ。グリッド。
What's up guys, it's Frederick Ospo and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Iyo RSR Ichiban.
伝統と革新、小倉クラッチのテクノロジーを凝縮。チャンピオンを取るためのクラッチ、小倉レーシングクラッチ ORC。
究極の静かさと安全性。オンロード、オフロード、世界中で活躍するケンダ。その信頼を支える静音性、安定性と耐摩耗性。世界が認めた技術と信頼を街乗りである。高品質と納得の価格、タイヤのポテンシャルをあなたに。ケンダ。
The brightness, called brilliant, blinding and vivid. Valenti.
welcome back to Formula Drift Japan 2020. This is round 1. We are here. Right. So we are here at Sportsland Sugo, Miyagi Prefecture. I'm here with Robbie. How are you, Robbie?
How you guys doing? How you doing, Michael?
Good. So today is a top 32.
Yes, sir. It's going to be an exciting day. Yep. It was really sunny yesterday towards the end of the qualify, and today it looks like it's a little cloudy, it's a little darker, but I have my fingers crossed. I want everything to go smoothly. We are still starting top 32, and after all this, we're going to have a little break going into top 16. But hi, guys. You're on camera.
Hi.
So we're back here. Same as yesterday, no spectators. Everybody has, all their equipment for the precaution of the COVID-19. The drivers and the teams as well, everybody has all their protective gear and all this other stuff, and we also take temperature when we're coming into the track and everything, so it's always good to be, it's always better to be safe than being sorry, but because of the whole COVID-19 mess, there's a couple of drivers that couldn't make it into this first round here in Sugo from all the foreign countries because of the whole borders, everything being closed and stuff like that. So there's a few drivers. There's at least 4, I think.
4.
Right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yep. And this is the 2018 Formula Drift Japan champion, Mad Mike from New Zealand. He has a little message for us.
From New Zealand, not where I want to be right now. I should be up in Japan testing our freshly rebuilt TCP Magic RX-7, getting ready for this weekend's round 1 of the Formula Drift Japan Championship. However, with the seriousness of this pandemic going around the world, proving to be a very challenging 2020 for most, and the borders being closed to Japan for the foreigners, it is impossible for me to get into the country. Trust me, I've done everything I possibly can, dealing with the embassies, speaking to the other foreign drivers, Toyo Tires, thank you so much for trying to pull some strings from your end to get me into the country. However, not meant to be. Quado bro, thank you so much. You've done an incredible job in prepping the RX-7 for us this season. Kato-san and Toshi of Liberty Walk, thank you so much for rebuilding the Lamborghini Murcielago this year for myself to do drift demonstrations. And to my competition, Gambare, stick it to the wall, Tanashi, and I'll be banging doors with you as soon as I possibly can.
Well, that was Matt Mike from New Zealand. We miss you, Mike. We wish you guys were here. And other than Mike, we also had Nian and Benjamin from Singapore, and Matthew Hill from Australia too. Those are the drivers, the foreign drivers that couldn't make it to this round because of the borders and all that stuff. And it's unfortunate, but just to be safe, we really don't have a choice right now at this time. Everybody's going through hard times. Hopefully you guys are being safe out there, and hopefully you guys are at home. For those of you who missed the qualify yesterday, here's the top 10 runs of the qualify yesterday. Some exciting driving at the new track. And here you go, from starting from the 10th place, I believe. So let's see, I think this is Tanaka. Yes, Tanaka from V-Style with Tetsujin. He was 10th place. He had an exciting run. And Yukio Fausto, this is actually like a refresh build S15. Well, Tanaka's car was a brand new car. This is a refresh built from Fausto, from Sideways Experience. And Mori, Yoshimi Mori in his S15. I think this is the same car from last year, but I think this must be like the second, third year 2JZ S15. And this is actually a new driver, Junya Ishikawa, that's driving the H6, Toyota H6 that Hayashi used to drive last year, and he is piloting this car. Shows a lot of angle. I like his style. Looks great.
There's a Fukada.
And Tadahiro Fukada from Tanabe SSR Team Dunlop. I believe he's been in the series for a while, so he's pretty much of a veteran for the FD Japan series. Fifth place is Jin Horino. He's also a veteran. All these guys, the veterans, they probably know how to run. The judging is different depending on, the countries and stuff like that. And I think the FD Japan style is more of a worldwide style. Now, this is a brand new build, the HGK Eurofighter, owned by Kazumi Takahashi with the 1GR V6 Turbo BMW. Looks great, and this is his debut for the car. Runs really nice. And another car, brand new build, debut, Lexus RC200, 2JZ powered by Andrew Gray and Power Vehicles. He was kind of on fire from practice, so it looked like he was really, really comfortable. So switching from a JZX100 chassis to this was a good choice for him. And now this is second place. I think he was tied. I think they were all tied for first. We had to go to their second run, but this is Hayashi. He used to drive that droopy car. Now he's doing his own thing with the 2JZ S15, and he was on fire as well from practice. He looks really, really comfortable with this car. And the first place, congratulations to Yoshika Tamagawa, JZA 80 Supra, so much potential. He's been in the FD Japan series a few years now, here and there, but I think he got it down because he just kind of blazed right through and ran a great line, a lot of angle. Really exciting run. So that was the top 10 from yesterday's qualifying. I was excited because number one, it's a season opener. We haven't been able to see so much competition drifting. And second of all, we're here. This is the first time we're here in Sugo. They had D1 Grand Prix and other drift events previously, but I think it's been like 10 plus years since they had it last at this big course. So I think they were really excited to have competition drifting back with us. So this is the pits right now, nice pits and everything. I think we're gonna go ahead and show you guys a little bit about the track. We'll explain to you what the judges are looking for. It's a little bit different from qualify going into tandem, but we wanna go ahead and show you how the track looks just for the people who missed out yesterday. That's the grass they have on the side. And some nice flowers.
Beautiful flowers.
Yeah. As of right now, as we're speaking, and as we're going to talk about the track, I think the guys right now, the trackside guys are cleaning everything up. But here you go. Just to show you, the start line is pretty much straightforward. You got the initiation cone onto the left, 3, 2, 1 cones. You have to initiate by the last cone, which is the 1 cone. You have to. It's actually going uphill here, going out to the outside zone 1, so you have to make sure that your car reaches outside zone 1. You got to fill the zone with really great angle, and when you initiate, you have to have really good rate of angle. So when you're going straight, you have to make sure you flick your car quickly to full angle, and keep that angle. Make sure you're smooth going down, and it's actually a downhill, and pretty much you have 4 outside zones, no in clips, 1 transition. Very, very simple if you look at it on paper, but it's actually really, really hard because of the elevation change. You're going uphill after you pass the outside zone 1, going to outside zone 2 and 3. It's a pretty steep downhill. So the speed control of the car is really important, but you also can't just get off the gas and kind of coast it because you're required to be on gas all the time. So you have to actually try to control the car with the minimal amount of lifting and braking. Try to keep control of the car and keep it steady with a lot of angle, and try to slow the car down with a lot of angle going into outside zone 3 and 4, and the finish line is right behind the outside zone 4. So as you can see, we have a full stand. I'm just kidding. So we have no spectators, really unfortunate, but we have you guys out here watching us online through live stream. Thank you for tuning in. We'll promise you some exciting drifting from these guys.
Yeah, it's hopefully a really excited battle.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, man, it's a little cooler today.
It is cooler. It was sunny this morning, though.
Yeah, it was sunny. And yesterday it was getting pretty hot towards the end of qualifying, but I know the track temperature differed, and that might kind of mess with some of the settings, and air pressures and grip level for some of the guys. But we also do have a brand new tire rule. It's not new in the FD series, but in Japan it is a new rule where we're limiting what kind of tires you can use. You can't use anything that's over what is suggested, or there's tires that FD USA picked out and said, hey, these are the only tires you could use, because some of the manufacturers would make something with that are too grippy, and that kind of opened up, it made the competition a little bit, we want it to be a little closer. We want the tandems to be closer, so we want everybody to be a little bit more equal. So we made the rules to make sure that everybody's on whatever tire brand and whatever, not the brand, well, whatever tire brand and whatever model they have for the tire. And also, another new rule they changed in FD Japan is we're pretty much adjusting ourselves to make sure we're getting closer to what the US is doing. So one day we'll have a World Series and we'll have the US guys and the Japan guys all go head to head.
Yes.
But for open practice on Thursday, well, actually Friday here, open practice, and the practice we have before the qualify, which was yesterday. Before it was just, you go out and do however many laps you want, but now we have it limited, just as the US does. There's only 12 laps. The teams would have to think of what to do, the setup. Every lap counts a little bit more instead of just going out there and just doing many laps.
Right.
So that would build the team strategy, and I think the teams will become a lot more stronger too. That's what we're looking forward to for the Japan team, the teams in Japan, to learn off of by changing rules. So we saw some of the drone footage. We have the drone. We can watch that as we're judging as well. So we can get a lot of information, proximity of the cars. But we're just waiting on the cars to line up.
So the first battle is car 125.
Hey, there's us on the drone. Hi guys, if you see my hand, good. If not, okay, no. So yeah, it seems like we're really, really far from the track, but we're so high that we can pretty much see everything from the judging stand. This is a really nice view, and I think thankfully the track, the elevation change, it goes up then it goes down. So since it's going down, it feels like we're a lot higher up in the air watching them. Now it looks like the cars are leaving the pit. The first pair that's paired up is car number 125 Tamagawa and car number 41 Uemura. So this is the number 1 qualifier going against the 32nd driver, 32nd place driver. So we have a ladder that's gonna be the top 32 guys who qualified yesterday. They're gonna go head to head from 1 to 32, then 16 to 17, and the next one's 8th to 25th, so on and so on. Then we will have a break in between after the top 32 going into 16. But the good part about these big tracks is a lot of pit space. The view is beautiful. I really like it. I mean, the track, it's an international track. Sportsland Sugo is an international track. They have a lot of professional motorcycle races, a lot of professional, race car, 4-wheel, open wheel, all kinds of stuff.
It's a huge track too.
Oh yeah, we're up in here, Miyagi Prefecture. We're probably about 4 or 5 hours up north from Tokyo. Very nice. We're just surrounded by nature. I kind of got bit up by some crazy mosquitoes the other day because I was wearing shorts. I learned my lesson. And now you can see the burnout boxes way down here. Oh, you see some motorcycles, like small pocket rockets driving on the left side too. That's kind of interesting to see too. But down here, that's the last corner coming up to the straightaway on the normal road course. But that's the runoff zone. That's where we're using to have the cars do their warm-ups, and they're going to have to drive up. It's kind of far, so it takes a little bit of time, so the timing is really hard. But yeah, so that's one of the bad parts about big tracks is, usually the burnout box is really, really far, number 1. And number 2, it's quite a hike for us to get up here to the judging stand from, it's like a 5-10 minute drive.
Okay, yeah, because we have to go all
Yeah,
the way
so
back.
if you don't have a car, well, number one, bicycle, it's kind of uphill. It's going to be a tough, your legs will be burning by the time you get up here. Number two, walking, forget about it. It's probably going to take a good 20 minutes just to get to the judging stand,
Yeah.
And the spotter stand is actually right next to us, so that's the downfall about the big tracks.
Yep.
So you've been with FD doing other things previously, up until the year before last, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what do you think about the competition? Do you see any
I'm-
growth or anything?
I think it's going the whole event's getting bigger and bigger every year, Yeah, and then few drivers every year. There's a few drivers and new cars. I'm really excited to see all the battles. But since COVID-19 it's happened, but
Yeah. So this was supposed to be our round 3.
3, yeah.
So we missed the first 2, which was postponed to another month. But this is the first one that we can get to safely.
With no spectators.
Yep, with no spectators, but this is our season opener. So this is going to be the first tandem battle for the Formula Drift Japan Series. This is the qualifying number 1, Tamagawa, car number 125, versus Shinichi Uemura, car number 41 in his JZX 100 Chaser.
It's getting ready.
So the signal goes, and it's a go. All right, I saw there's small correction by the lead car going from the outside zone 3 to 4, but it looks like he had a fairly okay, clean run up front. Just the gap in between the cars from Uemura, he looked like he fell behind a lot from the start. So we'd have to see what happens. We're going to be comparing the lead to lead against chase to chase. So we're going to have to see what Uemura has when he's leading, and how close and how online, and how well he can mimic Uemura when he's behind, chasing him. And it looks like the JZA 80, I think he got a new wrap this year, right?
Yeah, it looks new.
I think Uemura's car was just a plain white, but now it's like white and blue.
White and blue.
So these cars look, usually the cars look really, really spiffy and nice at round 1, because, they haven't had any battles. But after this, you're going to start having like tire marks on the door and the bumper hanging off and all that stuff. But that's part of the beauty of drifting too. So it is kind of a contact sport, and that is, it's back-to-back. If there's a wall or if there's another car, there's, a few bump in and grinding, so. Now they switch places. Uemura is going to be leading Tamagawa. Tamagawa is the number 1 qualifier in the JZA 80 Supra. Now you think this is going to be easier for the top qualifier, but as you can see how far back Uemura was, or how far back he fell behind,
on the qualifier.
Tamagawa seems like he is a lot faster on the track. So for him to be able to adjust his speed behind Uemura is going to be a little bit tricky, but let's see what he can do. All right, looks like Tamagawa is giving him slightly space. He did dip out a little bit to stay behind, but all right, so on the panel here for the judges, it's me, Robin Nishida, Nobuteru Taniguchi and Yoichi Imamura, they're both drifting experts and ex-champions. We're just having a little trouble on the control of this pad because they're new to it, but we have a result here, and we're going to see Nobuteru Taniguchi says Tamagawa, Yoichi Imamura says Tamagawa, and Robbie Nishida goes with Tamagawa too, so it's not a miss. The winner is the number 1 qualifier, car number 125, Yoshika Tamagawa in his JZA 80 Supra. I think Uemura did what he can, but I think the speed difference and the control difference was kind of obvious there. But I think they both did a great job. Tamagawa gave him a little bit of space and kept him in sight so he can try to catch him. He did dip a tire over there outside zone 3, but I don't think that mistake was as big as the less energy driving that Uemura had. So. Okay, so moving on to the second battle of the top 32.
Car number 58, Kazuhiro Kubo versus car number 888, Kenji Yamada, aka
Jamaken.
So
I'm going to write on my notes. So we got Kubo against Jamaken. This is going to be a close battle because Kubo is qualified at 16th, and Yamada Jamaken, he qualified 17th. So that means they're very, very close in points for qualifying. That means most likely their runs are similar. So we're expecting a very, very close tandem battle from these two. So I think they have been in the series for the past year or two for sure. Jamaken is in a SR powered S15, and Kubo is in a brand new 180 build that he made that's a 2J. And here we go. All right, so Kubo looks like he did a great job leading. And I think he was flexing on him because he has the power and the torque because he's in a 2J and an S15, or Jamaken was in an S15 with the SR. He's hanging in there, he's trying, and he's giving it his all. But the small gap that they have might hurt him a little bit. So let's see what's going to happen when Jamaken leads. All right, so here you can see Kubo kind of missed outside zone 2. His line was a little shallow there. But overall, I think it was a above average lead run from Kubo. Jamaken just had to give it a little bit more, kept the proximity a little bit more tighter. But let's see what they have
now
when they swap places. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so brand new car and brand new build for Kubo. Going to be chasing down number 17 qualifier, car 888 Jamaken in his SR powered S15. Both experienced drivers in the series and also in the drifting world. Let's see what's going to happen.
How was it, Robbie?
All right, so that was really obvious. Kubo made a huge mistake going from the outside zone 3 to outside zone 4. It looked like overall Kubo was having an advantage when he was behind 2. He was slightly closer than when Jamaken was behind him. Jamaken looks like he was running the same exact line as Kubo, but right here, he loses drift and he steers in, so pretty much goes off course, and he almost pretty much gift wrapped and gave it away to Jamaken. Man, I would be mad right now. Just imagine what's going through Kubo's head right now, but it's like, man, this is the beauty of drifting, you know, you never know what's going to happen till the end. So Judge 1, Judge 2, and Judge 3 is going to
Kenji Yamada.
Kenji Yamada. Jamaken gets the win over Kubo. Kubo did a great job until the last corner, but it was unfortunate for him to go home so early. But congratulations to Jamaken. We'll see him at top 16. He will be going against the #1 qualifier, Yoshika Tamagawa.
So the next up is car number 63, Yoshimi Mori versus car number 963, Daichi Mizutani.
All right, so this is the number 8 qualifier, Mori against number 25, 25th qualifier. So I think there might be a power difference here against these two cars too. And I think Mori's like 60 years old too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's like super veteran driver.
63?
Yeah, or something like that. And there you go. And it looks like Mizutani is washed out and opposite drift for him, so that's going to be an incomplete for the chase car. This is going to give Mori a huge advantage when he is chasing. Mizutani kind of gave it up for him. Yeah, so that was like an obvious huge mistake by Mizutani when he was behind Mori. Mori just kind of kept on and went and did his own thing. And I think that's the key for the lead drivers when you're driving in a competition with judging style like this, where when you're leading, you just go and do your own thing. Don't worry about trying to run away. You just keep at your own pace. You know, run through, go to the outer zones, make sure you're running the right line, make sure you're throwing enough angle, and making everything look exciting, and you know, getting back on throttle as soon as possible. Right now, they are turning around to go back to the start line to do the other way around. Mori will be chasing Mizutani. But I think at the U-turn spot at the finish, after the finish, I think they had to pull off the bumper from Mizutani. It looks like he was losing a lot of body panels. As soon as Mizutani drives through, the course guys will be coming out to pick up the cones and fixing the track, picking up all the scrap pieces that Mizutani kind of left, because it looks like he came in with full aero and now his body kit's all gone. Car's naked. But the course guys all weekend, you know, we got to thank them. These guys, we wouldn't be able to do it without these guys. These guys come out every time there's a cone getting knocked over, parts falling off their cars. And also shout out to the FDUSA guys that couldn't come this time. Same exact reason as the other drivers that couldn't join us this time. That's why we're here doing this. Usually it's Ryan Sage and Ryan Lantain doing this, the commentating and also judging. Thank you to you guys and also the USA staff. I see the guys running around here and picking up stuff. It reminds me of all the young guys that are out back in FDUS, where the course guys too, they're always hustling. And you know, those are the guys that are actually helping the series, you know, stay alive, because all the hard work that's behind the scenes, you know.
Yes.
The unsung heroes. But now it's switched around. Mori is going to be chasing down Mizutani. And Mizutani starts. It looks like he had a clean start. Mori's going to have to chase him down, but a little bit off his shoulders because of the big mistake Mizutani did behind him, and now he initiates. So, for some cases, there is you can't just kind of give up because you have the big advantage. So if you fall back way too much, we can actually ding you for that too. But he wasn't falling back too much. And Mizutani did great in his lead run, but I don't think this is going to be enough to turn everything over from his huge mistake he made when he was chasing Mori. And I think this is going to be an easy decision for everybody.
So the winner is car number 63, Yoshimi Mori.
So it is official. Mori moves on. Car number 63. Great job by Mori. And thanks for joining us to Mizutani. His road end here for this weekend.
So the next up is car number 555, Yukio Fausto versus car number 19, Ryuichi Amagai.
I'm a guy. What do you call him that? I am a guy. I am a guy. I'm a guy. Yeah, I'm a guy. He is a guy. But yeah, he's in a brand new car. He had a green car last year, and he's in a different green car this time. Different shade of green. It's like almost like a military green.
Right.
And Yukio Fausto, he lives in Japan, and he is in Koriyama now. He has a shop, the Sideways Experience in Koriyama, and I think he is actually the boss there. So I think it's like a drift-based shop that he runs. Both S15s, both 2Js. Totally different drivers, totally different color, but inside is pretty much similar. So it all comes down to what the driver can do. And the light is all off, and they take off. Looks like a clean start for both cars. Fausto is leaving Amagai on throttle all the way down, and it looks like Amagai is just getting left behind in his tire smoke.
I mean, Yukio was doing really great yesterday.
Oh yeah, he had a great amount of angle. He was on throttle the whole time. Very very fluid, exciting to watch. And I think Amagai was trying to keep up, but somehow he was just getting left behind in his smoke. And I think when you're too much into a smoke, you kind of get lost where you're going. So you had to cut in, take a smaller line. Well, it looks like a good start for Fausto, but like we always say, we never know. You never know what happens till the end. The earlier battle we had against Jamaken and Kubo, it looked like Kubo had the advantage, and then he kind of blew it all away, threw it all away at the last part of the track. So we'll see what happens when they switch places. And I think the more newer drivers we have and newer cars we have, they probably don't have any kind of data or any experiences driving against each other. So it's kind of a blind thing. You just kind of walk up and you think you're doing something, and maybe sometimes you're not doing the right thing. And that's really hard to tell, you know, unless you try it. You know, if you're able to practice with them or have some kind of experience driving with the person too. So
now they're switching places.
So you can see how far the straight is when they pulled the zoomed out from the start line, but it's really far. But the first corner and the initiation area comes up really close when you're on gas in a fast car. But here we go. Cars both started, clean run. Amagai, kind of a two-step initiation. Amagai is a little shallow. Doesn't seem like he's on gas as much. And Fausto is right there, got a little bit closer, but Fausto messed up. There you go. Got lost in the smoke, and a huge, huge correction by Yukio Fausto. So earlier I was talking to the other judges too. This is a key point of this tandeming here. And after you leave the outside zone 2, you're going to get lost in the smoke. And I think that's exactly what happened to Yukio Fausto. Got lost in the smoke, and he just straightened up really hard where we're going to have to give him an incomplete. So here's some of the drone footage. They're just kind of showing you what the track looks like from the top, from where we're at. And yes, I think an advice here, if you fall behind a little bit, especially with the power and the grip level we have nowadays with the cars, the smoke, when you're in the smoke, and I've experienced this many times, you just get lost. So what happens is you try to get out of it. You know, that's just human nature when you're trying to get out of trouble.
Right.
So you try to find your way out, and then I think that's exactly what happened to Yukio Fausto is going to go home early, even though he had a great lead run. The big mistake he made behind Yuichi Amagai. Oh my God. Everything, the past couple battles we had, you really don't know what's going to happen till the end. So I hope the spotters that are watching this right now, they should tell their team and drivers, say, hey guys, just watch out because there's a lot of things happening after out zone 3.
Okay, so the next number is car number 36, Kazumi Takahashi versus car number 13, Yasuhiro Takaki. So they're lined up.
All right, so Takaki's been in the series. I think this might be the second year. So he's not a rookie anymore, but Takahashi, I don't think he's ever done full season, but he's usually in a JZX 100, but this is a brand new build by him. E92 BMW, Eurofighter chassis with a Toyota 1GR V6 turbo, and he qualified pretty high too this time, so let's see what he's going to do when he's leading. Uh-oh, Takaki threw too much angle when he transitioned, and he went right off course. That is going to be an incomplete for his chase run. Takahashi just did his thing, and he made a clean lead run. Takaki, he might have, this might be the same situation as what happened to the past couple drivers, where he got lost in the smoke and did a flick and transition at the wrong spot, threw too much angle, went off course. So this will be a lot of pressure off of Takahashi's shoulders. but he cannot fall back too much and give him the advantage in leading, because we can ding him for that as well. So he's going to have to actually try to stay in enough proximity, chasing down Takaki. And now Takaki has nothing to lose. All he has to do is lay down his best lead run and see what happens when with the car behind him. So it looks like he's not turning around. I don't know what's going on. Is there trouble, or? Oh, they're taking his front bumper off, or something off of the front of the car, maybe taping it up. But something happened to the car probably when he went off course at outer zone 4. The guys at the course is cleaning the track up, taking off all the kitty litter off of the track. So give us just 1 minute to get ourselves situated. But man, I gotta tell you, this BMW looks really, really nice.
As you mentioned earlier, this BMW is made out of carbon fiber, you said?
Yeah, it's like dry carbon, full body kit. It looks really, really pretty, with or without the livery and decals on it. It looks really cool without it too. It looks really raw, and I don't know. It looks mean, you know. It's kind of intimidating now.
So now they're getting ready.
Yeah, so it's nice to see the variety of cars too. So I don't think there's been a BMW that ran full season in Japan. So this is probably gonna be the first one. You already probably know there's a lot of S15s and JZXs, but now let's see what's gonna happen with Takaki. He's just probably gonna give it his all, leading. A little shallow on the angle, but he's just hanging in there on throttle the whole time. Not too close to outer zone 2. Looks like everybody's kind of being a little shallow on the line on the outside zone 2, but Takashi is in a safe distance. He gave it a little bit of space, but I think he's not trusting him as the lead driver, and also knows that he has an advantage. But we want to make sure that they're not left behind too much behind him. This is a really, really safe chase run. We would not want to see this if there wasn't this advantage, but there's no way that we can turn that around. The mistake Takaki made was too big for us to make this call. So this might be another easy call for the judges. But you know what? I think Takaki might be. I think he's an SR. He has an SR20. He has a lot lower powered car, and he's on gas. I think he did a great job overall this weekend too. He's giving it 100%. You know, his driving is probably the 100%. So, and as we were speaking, Takaki will be leaving, or he is knocked out of the competition a little early.
Winner is car number 36, Kazumi Takahashi.
Takahashi moves on to top 16, and he will be going against the winner of the next battle. And the next battle is going to be car number 14, Tomohiro Murayama, versus car number 93, Manki Ito. Cars aren't lined up yet. They're just coming back from the burnout box, but Murayama is like the S14 guy. I've known him for a while, but as long as I've known him, he's been an S15. The car changed colors many times. And he's also been in the S14 with the SR20 power plant this whole time. And he competes in D1 Grand Prix, and he started to compete FD Japan last year. And I think he's getting the hang of it, where the judging style is a little bit different from the other competitions in Japan. And not at the line yet, probably at the burnout box, but Manki Ito is the owner of Ito Auto Service. They specialize in the JZX chassis, and he's in a JZX 100. But I think with the 2JZ, so not original. Usually these cars come in a 1J, but spot to a 2J. Versus the SR20, S14. Now, there's probably a weight difference here. The weight to the power to weight ratio might be similar too, because one car has more power but it's heavier, the other car has less power but is lighter. So this might be actually a pretty even match, but we'll see. Looks like the torquier cars here has the advantage too, so let's see what Murayama could do going against Ito. Now Murayama leads, initiates. Ito looks like he's right behind him, initiates at a good area, stays within proximity of Murayama. I think this is going to be a great battle right now. This is nice. Now it looks like Ito is running a slightly shallower line than Murayama. Murayama just did the lead, but also Murayama's lead wasn't with a tremendous amount of angle. So Murayama did good on the outside zone 1, flings outside zone 2. He kind of skipped outside zone 3. He wasn't too close to it. Good angle here, but right here, this is where Ito falls behind, but also Murayama is kind of shallowing up going into outside zone 4. All right, so this is going to be interesting. They're going to swap places. Ito is going to be leading Murayama. See how well Murayama could hang in there going against Ito, chasing him down. But from what we've seen the past couple of battles, I think it's kind of a slower start. We're expecting to see closer proximity for the cars, but Ito kind of dived in from the start, right after initiation. So it looked like the first half of the track, Ito was getting closer, or close enough to Murayama. But at the same time, Murayama just kept his own pace, drove through the track. Kind of missed outside zone 2 and shallowed the car up a little bit after outside zone 3 to 4, but Ito also made a mistake by diving in too much outside zone 3 and 4. So now we're going to switch everything around. Ito initiates. Murayama is right there. Looks like Murayama has a good amount of proximity behind Ito as well. And this is a little bit closer than what we've seen previously. Ito did a great job leading, but I think he had a similar run when Murayama was leading too. And Murayama did a good amount, or he did a great job. He did a good enough job to stay within proximity to Ito. And he did mimic Ito a lot better, it looks like, than what Murayama or Ito did to Murayama. I think what Ito did after the outside zone 3 to 4 is going to hurt him a lot. And here you go. All three judges went to the left, which is car number 14, Tomohiro Murayama. He's going to be moving on
to top 16.
He bettered car number 93, Monkey Ito's run. But I think Ito did a great job leading. And I liked his diving, his proximity going all the way up to outside zone 2. So great job by both drivers, but this time Murayama is going to be moving on.
So the next battle is car number 17, Jin Horino versus car number 22, Atsushi Wachi.
Okay, so I think this is both going to be S15s, both going to be 2JZ S15s. So it should be pretty similar. And both of the cars are super nice, beautiful, clean builds. Yeah, I think this is the second year for Wachi to be joining Formula Just Japan, and Horino's a veteran. We've seen him qualify first or second in a couple of the rounds previously. And I saw him move up in a ladder as well. And I know he's probably hungry for a podium.
He was really doing great yesterday too.
Yeah, he was doing great yesterday, and also his practice runs were great. He did qualify 5th place yesterday versus Wachi Atsushi. Atsushi Wachi, I'm sorry. He qualified 28th. So let's see if he was able to put his runs together during the practice we had this morning. And he will be chasing down Jin Horino. So the cars are lined up. So the blue car, blue S15, is Wachi Atsushi, and the white and red S15 is Jin Horino. Both cars look aggressive from here. Totally different body kit, but really clean builds. Similar in builds. And Jin Horino throws the car in and goes out to outside zone 1. And it looks like Atsushi Wachi has a good amount of proximity. Had to cut in a little bit more. A smaller line there, but looks like Horino had a smaller line too. Wachi had a little bobble leaving outside zone 3 to 4, and he was trying to mimic his line, but the proximity wasn't good enough through there. I think the first half Wachi was within good proximity, but the later half Horino kind of left him a little bit. But overall, looks like Wachi was on a slightly smaller line versus Horino didn't really do a great job on filling the zones as well. He kind of missed out zone 1, or he made outside zone 1, but outside zone 2, he didn't fill it as well. Outside zone 3 and 4, if you see the cars diving in way into the inside, going from the outside zone 3 to 4, that means they're kind of far. They're either leaving outside zone 3 early and getting into outside zone 4 late. All right, got my notes down. But it's weird when everybody runs qualify, or a lot of guys run qualify and they do a great job filling the zones. And all of a sudden when it becomes tandem, they don't fill the zones, because I know when you're getting chased, and it might be within your human nature, you're trying to run away. So when you try to run away, you're going to run a smaller line and the car is going to become shallower. So you're trying to get away, you know, and that's not what we're looking for. We want you to make sure that you're leading, running the right line, taking it all the way out with good amount of angle, and make it look exciting.
So now they're switching places.
And Wachi is going to be leading now, and let's see what's going to happen. We've had some upsets the past couple runs. Let's see what's going to happen here. Horino is staying within proximity. Wachi shallow up a little bit. Wachi looks like he is kind of leaving him. Dips the tire over there, shallower, and the proximity is not there as well. So I'm just looking at my notes overall. Wachi did a great job leading, but he was a little bit more shallower on angle, and maybe that's what is making the proximity happen. Now, Horino wasn't doing a great job when he was chasing too, but at the same time, Horino looks like he was doing a slightly better job. Well, not slightly better job. I think this is going to be a hard one to call, and you know what? We didn't even talk about it, but all three judges thought that this is going to be even enough for us to do it one more time. It's a one more time, so these cars will be lining up later after they change their tires and look over their cars. So that was a hard one to call because pretty much they both made small mistakes all over the place.
Yeah.
Not much proximity from both cars. I think Wachi dived in a little bit more and got a little bit closer than Harino did when he was behind Wachi. But at the same time, he got left behind a lot too. And when Wachi was leading, his angle was a little bit shallower too. It looked like he was trying to get away. So it might have been a very evenly matched one more time. So let's see when these guys come back. Now they know what the other driver is kind of like to follow and
Right.
See if they can better each other.
So the next battle is car number 8, Koichi Yamashita versus car number 770, Yusuke Kusaba.
All right, so this is really, really interesting because Yamashita is a super veteran. He's like 50 years old. He's been around in the drifting scene for a long, long time. And he's been driving this Weld JZX 100 Mark II for a long time.
Right.
Now the guy going against him, car number 770, Yusuke Kusaba. They call him Baki, but Kusaba is also, he's been drifting for a little while, but he's been in different chassis. He was in an 8.6, Toyota 8.6 till last year, and this is a brand new build from Cusco, Bridgestone, GR A90 Supra. Brand new build. This is the first time he's going to be running at a competition, and also first time he's going to be doing a tandem run. So this is actually a good, this is going to be a good battle because this is last year's runner-up. Yamashita was second place last year, almost got champion. So he's going against a champion driver. Now let's see how he's going to hang in there. Now it looks like Yamashita's doing his own thing. He kind of missed outside zone 2. And man, this gap that he created going against Kusamba is huge. So it looks like Kusaba, after he initiated, he kind of washed out a little bit wider. And as soon as that happened, Yamashita romped on it and just kept going. But Yamashita did miss outside zone 2. Didn't fill the zone there, but overall he did a great lead run. But Kusaba got left behind a lot. So now there's a speed difference we see going against Kusaba against Yamashita. So now let's see what Yamashita's gonna do when he has to go drive and chase down a slower car or a slower paced car than him. All right, so the Supra was built brand new, and Cusco built that, and they're coming into the drifting competition. It's been a long while. We're happy we're seeing manufacturers come back, and we have a young driver behind the wheel. But on the other hand, the Weld JZX 100, super veteran champ, Yamashita, he's gonna show the youngins how it's done. And see what he could do. It's like, man, look at the width of the car. The Supra is like super wide. And I know JZXs are pretty big chassis too, but the Supra kind of makes it look like a little baby. So it looks like it's going to be the start. Man, I am anxious to see what's going to happen here.
Here we go.
Now Kusaba for the first time. The chase for the tandem battle. Slides the car into first outer zone, makes it all the way out to the outer zone. A little bobble from the Yamashita when he's chasing. And it looks like he's trying to dive in. He's not. He's actually gaining proximity. His line wasn't on. His line wasn't as clean, but the speed difference, maybe he has more grip, I'm not sure, but it made it a little bit harder for him and challenging for him to chase the car because of the speed difference. But overall, it looks like Yamashita kept it within enough amount. There's a little bit of bobble there, And after here, he kind of dives in a little bit. He had to wait a little, kind of dives in. Oh, got cut off. But then he wasn't on Kusaba's line, but I think, in my opinion, the proximity difference is a little bit too big. And I know it's not a drag race or a race or anything, and it's not about, leaving the car or anything, but still he was left behind pretty hard. So let's see what the judges have to say. Now, the first judge, second judge, and the third judge goes with Champ Yamashita. Koichi Yamashita, car number 8, gets the win. Car number 770, brand new car, looks great, and I think Kusaba gave it his all. Hopefully they're going to work some magic for the next round and get a little more used to the car, but it's a brand new car. All right, so let's take a short break. We're going to be going to the commercials. Please watch that and don't leave yet because the competition is still moving on, and we'll see you right when you get back from these messages we have from us.
Stay tuned.
心配だよね。いざという時にちゃんと止まれるタイヤ、ウエット A。ウエット A。
ウエットグリップ性能 A のタイヤなら雨でもしっかり止まれて高い安全性を発揮。滑りやすい濡れた路面でもより
安心なやる。
横浜。
革新のカーボンベゼル。Bluetooth 搭載 G-SHOCK カシオ。
The brightness called brilliant. Valendy.
Quality of Japanese craftsmanship. Buritto.
What's up guys, it's Frederick Galspo and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Iyo RSR Ichiban.
伝統と革新、小倉クラッチのテクノロジーを凝縮、チャンピオンを取るためのクラッチ、小倉レーシングクラッチ ORC。
究極の静かさと安全性、オンロード、オフロード、世界中で活躍するケンダ。その信頼を支える静音性、安定性と対摩耗性、世界が認めた技術と信頼を街乗りでも高品質と納得の価格、タイヤのポテンシャルをあなたに。ケンダ。
The brightness called brilliant, blinding and vivid. Valendy.
ねえねえ、雨の日の運転ってちょっぴり心配 配だよね。いざという時にちゃんと止まれるタイヤ、ウェット A。 ウェット A。
ウェットグリップ性能 A のタイヤなら雨でもしっかり止まれて高い安全性を発揮。滑りやすい濡れた路面でもより
安心なやる。
横浜
革新のカーボンベゼル。Bluetooth 搭載 G-SHOCK カシオ。
The brightness called brilliant. Valenti.
Quality of Japanese craftsmanship. Buritto.
What's up guys, it's Freddy Galspo and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Iyo RSR Ichiban.
伝統と革新、小倉クラッチのテクノロジーを凝縮、チャンピオンを取るためのクラッチ、小倉レーシングクラッチ ORC。
究極の静かさと安全性。オンロード、オフロード、世界中で活躍するケンダ。その信頼を支える静音性、安定性と対摩耗性。世界が認めた技術と信頼を街乗りで高品質と納得の価格、タイヤのポテンシャルをあなたに。ケンダ。
The brightness called brilliant, blinding and vivid. Valenti.
Hello and welcome back to Formula Drift Japan 2020 Round 1. We're here at the Sportsland Sugo, Miyagi Prefecture, and we're top 32. My name is Michael. I'm with Robbie Nishida.
Hey Michael, thanks for joining us again, guys. Hey, and then since we're back, and I have one confession. I'm sorry. It's a habit. I was clicking the pen. I didn't know it was annoying you guys so much. Sorry guys, I'm gonna put the pen down. See, it's so hard to write things down and judge and commentate at the same time. ごめんなさい. Sorry guys. I won't do it anymore. See? Empty hands, no pens. Oh, see, I try to grab the pen again. See? Oh my God. See, I used to smoke and I quit smoking.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm trying to keep myself occupied by doing stuff like that. But I'm gonna stop. I can control. I have good control of myself. So, all right, let's go back to the competition. So now, for you guys that are joining a little late, we do have a couple of the drivers that are not here because of the whole COVID-19 mess, and we have all these masks and all these other stuff around us protecting us. And this is the stuff that we have to use, the precautions we have to use for the new world. But here we go. We are back. This is going to be
Car number 73, Kazuki Hayashi versus car number 61, Kunihiko Teramachi.
So this is the top of the ladder on the right side, actually. So here we go. Start. So this is a good ride car. Both good ride cars, both S15s. It looks identical, and it looks kind of cool when they're both driving together. And looks like, it looked like Teramachi kind of dived in a little bit too much. He didn't pace himself well when he goes in. When he was going into outside zone 3, it looks like his front right was had contact with Hayashi's left rear, but Hayashi just kept going. Let me go ahead and make sure that there was no extreme slowdowns by Hayashi. So everything looked pretty good from here. And after he made a transition, it looked like he went a little bit wider at transition, and he is supposed to stay on Hayashi's line, and he looked like he was running an outer line than the lead car. Misjudged how far he was and kind of dived in and hit Hayashi's left rear. So I like how he's aggressive, and this is really great to see. You know, it's unfortunate that he had to hit and correct, but at the same time, it didn't look like Hayashi was slowing down or there was any extreme car movement by him, drawing the mistake out of Teramachi. But I like how Teramachi was kind of on it, and I think this is because Hayashi is the number 2 qualifier from yesterday, and he was tied with the number 1 qualifier Tamagawa, his score. So he actually had a great run. This is his first year in his own 2JZ S15. He had S15 before with SR, and he was driving a different car last year, and this is his own deal that he has this year with Good Ride, and both cars, Good Ride cars. This kind of looks cool. It's like a twin battle.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the battle when they have it in the States with the S15 with the 2Js, with Peter and James Dean. And this one has, I don't even know what the difference is, maybe smaller stickers.
Yeah, it looks really identical.
So even if Hayashi was leading again, we wouldn't even be able to tell. But actually he's not. Teramachi is leading now, and Hayashi is going to have to stay within proximity, even though Teramachi made a big mistake behind him. Now they both initiate. Oh, you know what? Teramachi's car does not sound like it's running on all cylinders. Looks like he's struggling. He was a little shallow. Hayashi is falling back a little bit. I think he's trying to keep it safe, but he has to watch out not to keep it too safe. We could ding him for that too, but I think Teramachi's car is down on power, and looks like, or not looks like, but it sounds like it's not how it's supposed to run usually. So, and he almost, we're not going to say that was a total straightening out, but he had a huge correction right in front of the judging stand at the outer zone 1. Straightened, or correction, and Hayashi kind of played it safe. Would like to see a little bit more proximity when he is chasing, but I don't think him falling behind like that is going to be big enough to flip it around, because Teramachi made a huge mistake when he was chasing Hayashi. And all 3 judges, we have not had a split decision yet up until now, but the winner goes to
car number 73, Kazuki Hayashi.
Kazuki Hayashi gets the win, and great run by Kunihiko Teramachi. I like the way he dived in, and his hungry style of driving was great, but it was not good enough to beat Hayashi, the number 2 qualifier. So he's going to be going home early this weekend. Not going home. Hopefully he stays around and watches the rest of the competition too, but his competition ends now.
So now we're going to one more time.
Oh, so okay, this is a one more time battle by
car number 17, Jin Horino versus car number 22, Atsushi Wachi.
So this is a similar build. Looks different. It may be different inside, but it's a 2J S15. Both cars, and both, actually Horino is a veteran. I think he's been in the FD Japan series a little longer than Wachi. But earlier it was a little too close. They were both similar in smaller mistakes. So now here we go. It's a new battle against Reno is leading. Wachi is chasing, and Wachi dives in. He gets a little bit closer, but he has a little bobble. Now Harino goes all the way out to the out zone. Wachi got a little bit closer, and he had to shallow up, and he got I think he hit the wall after the finish line. All right, so we're gonna have to take a closer look because we are gonna have to, if he is spinning through the finish line, and yes, it looks like he is, we're gonna have to give him an incomplete because you're supposed to actually straighten the car out, finishing that drift, because that's still one drift, and he's not finishing his drift, and he actually spun. All right, so I think we're gonna have to make a decision giving him an incomplete on his chase run. Unfortunately, he did go into the wall too, so I think there's gonna be some slight damage to the car. I'm not sure how severe it's gonna be, but he did not finish drifting his drift coming after the outside zone 3 to 4, and he kind of went straight into the wall. But I think he was I think he caught up a little bit too fast to Harino.
Yes.
You know, and I think he was trying to avoid contact with Harino, but it didn't look like Harino was slowing down there too. So it looked like Wachi was actually gaining a lot of speed on him. So let's watch this again. The replay of the run that we just had. Harino's leading, Wachi is chasing. Good proximity here by Wachi, a little bit of a bobble. He's not on the same line as Harino, but the proximity is good. And right here, he shallows up really crazy, and he tries to gain ground. He tried to gain proximity with Harino, and he just caught up a little too fast maybe, and he had to slow down because he got a little too close to Harino too fast, and it looked like he tried to avoid contact with Harino and kept the car going. So yeah, it looks like he has he's leaking fluid. Thankfully, it's not on the track part. Well, the judge side of the track. Unfortunate for Sugo, but they're gonna have to clean that up. It's right after the finish line, so we're gonna have to clean that up so none of the cars are gonna run over whatever liquids he's leaking. But hopefully it's not something severe, so we can at least see Wachi lead Harino too. So let's go to the commercial break while we're waiting for them to clean this up, and we'll be back with the battle. We'll let you know what's going on after we come back from the messages we have from our sponsors.
ねえねえ、雨の日の運転ってちょっぴり心配だよね。いざという時にちゃんと止まれるタイヤ、ウェット A。ウェット A。
ウェットグリップ性能 A のタイヤなら雨でもしっかり止まれて高い安全性を発揮。滑りやすい濡れた路面でもより
安心なやる。
横浜。
革新のカーボンベゼル。Bluetooth 搭載 G-SHOCK カシオ。The brightness brilliant. Valenti.
クオリティオブジャパニーズクラフトマンシップグリッド。
What's up guys, it's Frederick Galspo and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Iyo RSR Ichiban.
伝統と革新、小倉クラッチのテクノロジーを凝縮、チャンピオンを取るためのクラッチ、小倉レーシングクラッチ ORC。
究極の静かさと安全性、オンロードオフロード、世界中で活躍するケンダ。その信頼を支える静音性、安定性と対摩耗性、世界が認めた技術と信頼を街乗りである。高品質と納得の価格、タイヤのポテンシャルをあなたに。ケンダ。
The brightness called brilliant, blinding and vivid. Valenti.
ねえねえ、雨の日の運転ってちょっぴり心配だよね。いざという時にちゃんと止まれるタイヤ、ウェット A。 ウェット A。
ウェットグリップ性能 A のタイヤなら雨でもしっかり止まれて高い安全性を発揮。滑りやすい濡れた路面でもより
安心なやる。
横浜。
革新のカーボンベゼル。Bluetooth 搭載 G-SHOCK カシオ。 The brightness called brilliant. Valenti.
クオリティオブジャパニーズクラフトマンシップグリッド。
What's up guys, it's Frederick Galspo and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Iyo RSR Ichiban.
伝統と革新、小倉クラッチのテクノロジーを凝縮、チャンピオンを取るためのクラッチ、小倉レーシングクラッチ ORC。
究極の静かさと安全性、オンロードオフロード、世界中で活躍するケンダ。その信頼を支える静音性、安定性と対摩耗性、世界が認めた技術と信頼を街乗りである。高品質と納得の価格、タイヤのポテンシャルをあなたに。ケンダ。
The brightness called brilliant, blinding and vivid. Valenti.
And hello, welcome back to Formula Drift Japan 2020, round 1. We're here at the Sportsland Sugo, Miyagi Prefecture. I'm Michael. I'm here with the Robbie.
The pen clicking. Oh, I did it again. I was just clicking my pen while we're on commercial breaks. So I could just get it out of my system. I should see a doctor. Yeah. But man, this is so hard to do. This is probably the first time I'm actually doing full commentating and also judging. So this is like double duty. It's really hard work, you know. Great job to the guys that does it all the time in the U.S. And Lontaine does it here. And the whole commentating thing, you know, Sage does a great job when we're in FD Japan and FD US too.
So this car number is number 84.
Hashi. Car number 90, Minowa, chasing him. So Hashi, whoa, he threw it in pretty nice. And now Minowa is gaining ground, trying to get closer to the car. Looks like Hashi is shallowing up a little bit. But looks like Minowa is in average to okay proximity right behind Hashi. But I really like the way Hashi threw the car in. So I think Hashi is in an SR, so he's probably, he probably has a lot less power than Minowa does. But it looks like he's just on it. He's giving it his all. No lift. I like the way he is driving. But at the same time, Minowa is not too far, not too close. A little bit of correction at in front for Hashi. But I think overall it was a great job. Hashi did a good job leading. And Minowa did an average chase. So this is a top 32 battle, and the first battle for some of the, or most of the, or all of the guys here. But Hashi is going up against car number 90, Minowa. Minowa is the third place driver of last year's championship. And Hashi did great in some of the rounds last year too, and we saw him come up the ladder in the competition too. And this event, he's actually on fire. His single runs too. It looks like his car is almost holding him back because he's lacking in power and torque. But I like his style. I like the whole give it all up for what I can do type of driving. And now we have Minowa leading, and see what Hashi's going to do when he's chasing. Uh-oh. So there was a bobble at the initiation. Minowa is leaving Hashi. Alright, so now I'm going to have to see what happened at the initiation. It looks like Minowa kind of slowed down at the first corner, yeah. Yeah, it looked like Minowa didn't go into angle as much as he was supposed to. Alright, so we're gonna go into judging. All right, so there was a we had to watch the replay a little bit, and it looks like car number 84, Masakazu Hashi, is moving on, and he beats last year's third place championship third place driver Shinji Minowa. All three judges. Like we said in the what we're watching for the judging, we're watching the lead to lead, chase to chase. It seems like Hashi wasn't doing that bad when he was behind, but at the same time, Hashi's initiation was a lot more dynamic, and it was he flicked it really hard and got right back on gas, but Minowa looked like he tried to give it a lot of angle, but he looked like he lost speed, and the car kind of dove into the inside, and after that, Hashi, it looked like there was a little bit of contact too, but Hashi just kind of brushed it off and started chasing him as soon as he can. So this is gonna hurt Shinji Minowa if he is in the championship race this year too, but Hashi bettered him this time in car number 84, Masakazu Hashi, with the SR20 powered power plant. He moves on.
So the next row is car number 33, Junya Ishikawa, and car number 666, Shuichi Mano.
All right, so now we have Ishikawa in the Toyota 86 and Mano in this. Oh, he almost failed the 180. This S13 with the 180 front end on it. Now he's in the smoke the whole time, and he goes off course. Ishikawa dives in a little too early from outside zone 3 to 4. He didn't reach it and fill the outside zone 3 and 4 as well. But at the same time, as he was filling the outside zone 2, Shuichi Mano looked like he dipped a tire outside of out zone 2. Let's go ahead and take a closer look here. The replays. This looks pretty good with good proximity, but he kind of went way too behind. Went off course, but Ishikawa missed the outside zone 3 and 4 tremendously, and Mano actually chased him on the same line. But to be honest, overall, the first half, Mano was in fairly well proximity behind Ishikawa. But Ishikawa had great angle, a lot of commitment. He was on gas the whole time. But it looked like he came a little short on the line at outside zone 3 and 4.
So now they're switching places.
And two very different cars, probably like 20 years old, 20 few years old apart. Mano is in a 1VIA, 180 SX front end, S13 rear. Well, the car is S13 Silvia versus the Toyota 86 from Droopy Hiroshima Toyota, Toyopet. Mano initiates, not as much of the bigger, the angle's not as big as Ishikawa's, but looks like he has fairly good pace. Average line. He actually fills outside zone 3 a lot better than Ishikawa does, and fills outside zone 4 too. So let's see the replays. I just want to go ahead and make sure I know what I'm looking at. All right, so the line of Mano, he bettered his line at outside zone 3 and 4. And Ishikawa kept a pretty fair amount of proximity behind Mono, and I think Mono did a great job overall chasing, but I think when Mono went off course at outside zone 2, he went on a totally different line from outside than Ishikawa at outside zone 3 and 4. And even though Ishikawa was trying to run away and get away from outside zone 3 to 4, he was still running a good amount of angle, and Mono had to kind of shallow up most of the way. And when Mono was leading, it didn't look like he had as much angle as Ishikawa did overall. So it looks like the winner for this battle is going to be
car number 33, Junya Ishikawa.
Ishikawa. First time in this car in a competition. He moves on, but I think that was the more that could be more of the commitment side and the angle that Ishikawa was throwing more than Mono. But I think Mono did a really, really great job. In my opinion, I was really close to trying to give them a one more time too, but we had to call it. Ishikawa got the win.
So the next battle is car number...
No, we're going back to the one more time.
One more time, huh?
Earlier, Harino was leading and Wachi was chasing, and basically Wachi spun through the finish line and also went into the wall to the left. Driver's left, going through the finish line. So he called the 5, and now he has his car back together, and he is at a disadvantage because his chase run was an incomplete. But you never know what's going to happen till the end. Some news right now. They just told us something is still wrong with Wachi's car, and it looks like he is backing up and going back to the pits. He has no time to fix this. So unfortunately, the battle against Harino, or the one more time battle against Harino and Wachi, it looks like it's going to go to Harino. So now Harino has to prove that his car is eligible to run a battle against Wachi. So Harino is going to be driving by himself and going to show us a solo run. And once he's done with that, we're going to have to move on to the next battle. All right, there you see, look at this beautiful S15. There's a little bit of body damage, fiberglass damage from when he went into the wall, but I am not sure what happened to the car, but he is actually pulling back to the pits once the car left. But it looks like there's drips of fluid too, so maybe they couldn't fix it completely in time. This is very unfortunate for Wachi. Beautiful car, and looking forward to him driving in the next round in the rest of the series. But congratulations to Harino. He is going to be moving on to top 16. And this is going to be his bye run to just prove that his car is ready to go and he's ready for any battles. And that's actually a very good outside line. Fairly good car, fairly good run. But it's a bye run, so. Jin Harino moves on.
Jin Harino, car number 17.
Yeah, so Wachi's crew is working hard, just checking out the car. Wachi's already out of the car, you know, they had to call it. But hopefully they can get the whole car situated and ready for next round. And the next round is actually scheduled at the end of August. And I think it's going to be at Okuibuki.
Yes.
And that's the Okuibuki ski resort, where it's a tight track. Cars have to go uphill. There's a like a stone rock wall on the right side where you initiate. Pretty exciting to see. Very compact track, but it's going to be a cool event. Hopefully we can have spectators in by then too, but we're not sure yet as of now.
Yes.
Man, I gotta tell you, this 2020 has been a very, very, I don't even know how to explain it. This is a messed up year. Like,
yeah, it's difficult for everybody.
Exactly. It's not just one person just because you have a business or a job or anything. It affects everybody. From buying toilet papers to looking for masks to
water.
Yeah, water and supplies running out, and oh my God, like just want to hurry up and kind of finish 2020
and go next year.
But you know, my guess is probably going to be a new normal, and everybody always says, "Oh, we want it to go back to normal. I want to go back to normal." But I think the new normal is going to be the way we're doing things now.
Yeah, I think so too.
And you know, it feels like I'm in prison because I'm talking to you behind this. Well, I have a mask on. Number one, number two, this acrylic board thing. Yeah. And I think that's why it made me click my pen so much. Because I felt...
Did you know you've been clicking a pencil for like last 10 minutes?
Oh, shoot. Okay. Man, somebody take this thing away from me. All right, just everybody just push the mute button. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the next rep is car number 5, Tomoki Tanaka, and car number 328, Shinichiro Saito.
All right, so Tanaka is in a brand new build. This is the JZX 100 Mark II, built for Formula Drift Japan versus Shinichiro Saito. His son did not qualify yesterday because something happened with his car and he couldn't do a great run. Let's see if his dad can move on. And Tanaka, he dips his tire off a lot at initiation. Very dynamic initiation. And a lot of angle. Saito is trying to, and Saito goes off course. Oh man, you know, I don't even know if the smoke had anything to do with it or what, but it looked like Saito was on a good track. He was on a good line chasing Tanaka. Not a lot of proximity. And it's actually a big no-no here. You're not supposed to dip a tire off here at initiation, especially. And Tanaka did it a lot. Not good for Tanaka, but at the same time, he is running a great line. He's filling a lot of the outside zones. Right here, it looks like he had a little bobble. But I don't know if Saito caught up too much or he just came out of the smoke and maybe caught him by surprise where he saw Tanaka's car. Uh-oh. You know what? What happened to Saito? Saito is supposed to make a U-turn and come back through the track, but it looks like he's not. He is driving around the track. So let's try to find out what's happening with Saito's car. Is this some kind of trouble with his car? Is he having trouble? Is he going to call 5? All right, sorry guys, a little mishaps. Saito was supposed to actually turn around and go back to the track, or back through the track, but I think they misunderstood something and they're actually driving through the track, so it's going to take a little bit, but at the same time, there's a little bit of a mess. Some of the sand and dirt is onto the track right after the outside zone 4 area and the finish line area because Saito did go off course. Let's watch some replay while we're waiting for the cars to line back up, but 1 tire, 2 tire almost dropped by Tanaka at initiation. Saito is within good proximity here. Tanaka is doing a great job filling the zones, being on the outside. Well, average job. He has a little bobble there and it looked like he slightly slowed down, but Saito just came out of the smoke. I don't know if Tanaka caught him off guard when he came out of the smoke and something happened to him. He went off course. So it looks like Saito actually went into the pit, so let's find out what's going on. All right, so as we're waiting, let me talk about my little mishaps I had the past couple of days. Oh man, the pen again.
I told you.
Dude, hold on to this for me. I mean, all right, so yeah, we're in the nature up here. There's a lot of nature up here where the judging stand is, and there's all kinds of bugs that I've been seeing the past couple of days. Yeah, my right leg got I don't know, something bit it, and it's like double the size. I look like I'm really buff, just my right leg, but.
There was a big spider in front of me.
Yeah, it kind of creeped up on you from the.
Oh my god.
It kind of hung in front of you, but. Yeah, so it looks like Saito needs a little bit of a taping job. I don't know. It looks like he's doing something with the door or the window, the driver's side window. They're taping it. I think something happened to the car when he probably hit one of the outer zone cones. And there you go, there's a closer look, but okay, so yeah, it looks like his window broke off or something. So they're actually taping it on so it's not going to fall off while he's driving. Now, compared to a lot of the other cars at the other series, like in the US, a lot of the drivers don't even run windows. They run these arm restraints. So if something happens with the driver, the hands don't come out the window because your hands are actually hooked onto the seatbelts or something. And a lot of the Japanese drivers, and some of the tracks in Japan too, they require you to have windows if it's not an open wheel car.
Right.
And a lot of the Japanese drivers do run windows. But it's nice to have windows when it rains, because you know it does rain a lot in Japan.
True.
And fortunately, it looks like we don't have that right now. And let's see how Saito is going to drive and lead Tanaka. And Tanaka looked like he had a huge correction, and he went off course behind, and he, oh my god, this is a really sloppy chase. But let me go ahead and look into the replay. So let's see right here, Tanaka, that was almost, I would even say almost a straightening out. Tires off. Right here, very shallow, cuts in a lot. So,
this is one more time between car number 5, Tomoki Tanaka, versus car number 328, Shinichiro Saito.
All right, so this is not a one more time we want to see. Both of the cars did horribly when they're chasing. Shinichiro Saito went off course. I don't even know how many tires, but it was right by the finish line, so he didn't actually go through the finish line. He actually went through the pylon and the cone, finish line cone. And also Tanaka, when he was chasing after initiation right here in front of the judging stand, he pretty much almost straightened out, but he was still in drift motion, so we're not going to count that as an incomplete for them. But both of the cars pretty much almost had an incomplete behind each other. So instead of picking at who did what and looking at mistakes right now, all the judges decided just go for it one more time. Let's see what happens when they do the one more time.
So the next battle is car number 100, Andrew Gray, versus car number 344, Hayato Miyoshi.
All right, so this is a veteran versus veteran. Brand new car against car we've seen that's familiar, R34 Skyline driven by Miyoshi, and a brand new JZX RC200 by the Power Vehicles, Andrew Gray. Andrew Gray runs a great line. Miyoshi is right there, a little bit less angle, but he is falling behind. He almost straightened out right there at the transition, and he is falling way back of Andrew Gray's RC. And looks like Miyoshi's car lost half of his right or rear bumper at the right side, outer zone 3. Here we go. So I don't know. There we go. There's a little bit of bobble there on the lead run of Andrew Gray, but he did. He was fair at filling the zones on the outside zones. But Miyoshi looked like he had a bobble right before he was going into transition from outside zone 2 to 3, and he had to cut in and run a smaller and shallower line. But overall, it looks like Miyoshi, I don't know if he's down on power or he looked like he had to kind of shallow up to stay close to Andrew Gray's RC. But Hayato Miyoshi's car, he's been in the series. I think he had a huge crash long time ago at Suzuka in a 4-door R34. Then he actually changed his chassis to this coupe. And man, these R34 coupes are so much more, they're a lot more expensive than they were a long time ago. They're worth a lot more too. So I told him, it's like, yo, don't damage the car, you know, it's a waste. But at the same time, the RC2, brand new car, beautiful car. And they made the build, and I think they were talking about the COVID getting in the way of the build as well. But they're both here at the line for their second run, for their first tandem battle, top 32. Miyoshi leads, initiates. The RC is right behind Miyoshi. A good average amount of proximity by Andrew Gray following the R34. Miyoshi kind of bobbles there in front of the outside zone 3. And Andrew Gray gets really, really close at outside zone 4. And he kind of shows Miyoshi the power he has. And I believe they were talking about, since they had the tire rules, they are actually running 19-inch wheels on the back. So it looks like the lead car is doing a good job. He had a little bobble there at the outside zone in between 3 to 4. I think Andrew Gray kind of stayed a little, he was a little calm, chasing Miyoshi. And he had good, the proximity was really good. Andrew Gray was right behind him most of the time on the track, and all 3 judges go to the left.
The winner is car number 100, Andrew Gray.
Andrew Gray gets the win over the other veteran, Hayato Miyoshi. Usually Miyoshi qualifies higher than what he did this time. He qualified at 30, so I'm not sure if he has some kind of something going on with this car. I know it's been a long break in between the seasons from last year to this year.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to get back into shape. And it's a lot harder to just go to the track and go testing now too, because of this whole mess we're in right now. So, but too bad for Hayato Miyoshi, and better luck for him for the next round. But last year's champion, car number 100 in the Lexus RC, Andrew Gray, with Valino tires and Zama Auto and Power Vehicles, gets the win, and he moves on. And right now at the line I see Kazuya Matsukawa, car number 99 in the AE85. I'm just gonna call it 86 because then everybody would know, but the AE86. 2-door Treno versus Hara Daisuke Hara, car number 85 in the S15. Looks like he has the Rocket Bunny body kit. And I think Matsukawa's car is one of the lightest cars here, but this thing doesn't have a 4AG in it, or this thing doesn't have an average inline engine. It has a V6 out of a Toyota, and it's turbocharged. And here we go. Well, looks like Hara kind of got left on the start, and Matsukawa is blazing down the track. He is hitting all the zones. Hara is trying to keep up, but you know what? Matsukawa misses the outer zone 3 a lot.
We'll look the replay.
All right, so it looks like Matsukawa did a great job, minus his outside zone 3. He left that zone way too early. So when you're looking at this, if you see the cars going from outside zone 3 to 4, if you see the cars diving in and the front end of the car is closer to the rumble strip on the inside of that turn, that means you're leaving the turn or leaving the zone a little too early, and you're going into the outside zone 4 a little too early too, or a little too late. So as a line, if that was a qualify, you would get dinged by the line judge majorly. But at the same time, Hara wasn't close. I thought I heard something when he started and left the straight, when he was actually, it looked like he was a little behind. Kind of got left at the start, but Hara's car is not moving. It's sitting there. Maybe he's gonna have to get towed off, but it does not sound like it's it didn't sound good. Something popped or did something, and I didn't think it was any of these cars, but maybe it was Hara's car when he was leaving the line. And as you can see from the drone footage, Matsukawa's car is coming back, and Hara's car is just
stuck there?
Yeah, it's waiting for help maybe. Oh, yep.
Looks like
the tow truck looked like it's going onto the track, so they're waiting for Matsukawa's car. And I earlier Taniguchi was saying, he was like, hey, this is a track, so the cars that U-turning, like, can you like hurry up and go so we can kind of move on, you know? So Matsukawa is really taking his time coming back through the track, and I think the tow trucks are actually waiting for him to get out of the track. So now he's out of the way. The tow vehicles are going to the rescue to go and tow back Hara's car, and we'll see what is going on with Hara. Hara actually made a run, Matsukawa. So if he can get the car situated within the next, or if he has to call the 5-minute, we're going to be using the 5-minute rule. And now the 5-minute rule, you have one 5-minute starting qualifier for the whole weekend. So if you use it once, you don't have another one. If something happens to your car, you just kind of have to call it quits and retire. So if he can't get his car back without touching the car, I really doubt that he's going to be able to fix the problem. So most likely, if it is something that he can fix, he's going to have to call the 5-minute.
Right.
Or a competition timeout. That's what it's called, competition timeout. So it looks like he's going to be calling a competition timeout, but the competition timeout doesn't start until the car gets back to the pits, off of the tow truck, and ready for the mechanics to touch. So nobody can touch the car until then. We have that sometimes when there's a wreck. A lot of the mechanics go over to the car and start looking at the cars, and they have all the parts ready. So as soon as the car comes back and it hits the floor or hits the ground at the pits, they just get right under it, and they have all the parts ready. So we'll see some amazing action in the pits too when they call the 5-minute or the competition timeout too, because sometimes people pull off some crazy things where they'll fix the car that's probably impossible to fix within 5 minutes, and they'll do it.
It's impressive.
Yeah, so that's for the teams that, you know, has everything situated. And this shows how Formula Drift and competing in these drift series, it's not just all about the driver or the car, but it is teamwork. And the guys that are behind there making it happen. And going back to us, thanks to us, good job, Michael. And also the guys out there, thank you for watching. I know we have a little bit of time right now to talk. And thank you for the track, letting us do a wonderful event here in Sportsland Sugo. This is beautiful. We are 4 or 5 hours up north from Tokyo in Japan.
It's much cooler out here.
Oh yeah, it's a lot cooler than back home. Very humid back home, but we are in Miyagi Prefecture. Beautiful track, Sportsland Sugo, here for the first round of Formula Drift Japan 2020 season opener. No spectators, a lot of precautions with all these masks and gears and face guards and just stuff. But let's go check out the commercials. We'll go for a small break while they're situating this car.
Iざという時にちゃんと止まれるタイヤ、ウエット A。 ウエット A。
ウエットグリップ性能 A のタイヤなら雨でもしっかり止まれて高い安全性を発揮。滑りやすい濡れた路面でもより
安心なやる。
横浜
革新のカーボンベゼル。Bluetooth 搭載 G-SHOCK カシオ。
The brightness called brilliant. Valenti.
Quality of Japanese craftsmanship. Buritto.
What's up, guys? It's Frederick Galspo, and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Iyo RSR Ichiban.
伝統と革新、小倉クラッチのテクノロジーを凝縮、チャンピオンを取るためのクラッチ、小倉レーシングクラッチ ORC。
究極の静かさと安全性、オンロード、オフロード、世界中で活躍するケンダ。その信頼を支える静音性、安定性と対摩耗性。世界が認めた技術と信頼を街乗りでも高品質と納得の価格、タイヤのポテンシャルをあなたに。ケンダ。
The brightness called brilliant, blinding and vivid. Valenti.
ねえねえ、雨の日の運転って ちょっぴり心配だよね。いざという時にちゃんと止まれるタイヤ、ウェット A。 ウェット A。
ウェットグリップ性能 A のタイヤなら雨でもしっかり止まれて高い安全性を発揮。滑りやすい濡れた路面でもより
安心なやる。
横浜
革新のカーボンベゼル。Bluetooth 搭載 G-SHOCK カシオ。
The brightness called brilliant. Valenty.
Quality of Japanese craftsmanship. Grid.
What's up, guys? It's Freddy Galspo, and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Iyo RSR Ichiban.
伝統と革新、小倉クラッチのテクノロジーを凝縮、チャンピオンを取るためのクラッチ、小倉レーシングクラッチ ORC。
究極の静かさと安全性。オンロード、オフロード、世界中で活躍するケンダ。その信頼を支える静音性、安定性と対摩耗性。世界が認めた技術と信頼を街乗りである。高品質と納得の価格、タイヤのポテンシャルをあなたに。ケンダ。
The brightness called brilliant, blinding and vivid. Valenty.
Hello and welcome back again to Formula Drift Japan 2020 Round 1 at Sportsland Sugo, Miyagi Prefecture. Surrounded by beautiful nature. Yep. I'm here with Robbie.
And I'm here with Michael.
How you doing?
Thank you. I am happy being at a drift event, and now we left off earlier.
Yes.
With Hara with the car trouble after the finish line. We have that situated where Hara is going to have to call it, so he is out of the competition now. So now Matsukawa is going to have to do his buy run to show that his car is ready to go. So we're waiting for him to start and do his for Matsukawa to do his buy run in his Hiroshima Toyota AE85 V6 Turbo Toyota Corolla. Braking. Trying to dive in a little bit, but you know what? This is probably one of the most successful 86 drift cars in the world. He's probably been into a lot of competitions, and I think a couple of the drivers previously has driven that car too. Matsukawa has been driving this car for the past couple of years, and it looks like he is getting better and better in results in Formula Drift Japan. And this time too, he is going to move on to top 16, and he will be going against last year's champion, car number 100, Andrew Gray, in his Lexus RC at top 16. So next battle is, it's supposed to be car number 38, Tadahiro Fukada, versus car number 18, Tetsuya Iha. But we have bad news from the pits. Car number 38, Tadahiro Fukada, motor is down, engine is broken, something is wrong with his car, and he is going to be out. He's knocked out of the competition already without even laying down a run for his first tandem battle. It is too bad because he qualified 6th. He had like a 90-something point run, and it looked really good. He was looking really good.
Yeah, he was.
Maybe that stress hurt the motor in some way, but he is not going to be in the competition for this weekend. It's too bad.
You have car number 38,
So the 200 Crown, Toyota Crown, this is one of the bigger sedans. This is almost like the Lexus LS or Lexus GS that they have, but it's the Toyota version. Toyota Crown, it's only sold in Japan. So it's a very, very different car. It's kind of like Skylines of Toyota, but they don't sell it anywhere else. It's Toyota Crown. Never seen a drift car like that model drift car yet. So that might be the first one, but he is going to be moving to top 16. And he'll be going against the next winner of the next pair.
Car number 80, Yuta Komatsu versus car number.
Nope, it's actually not going to be the next battle.
Oh.
Yeah, he's going to be going against the winner of the next battle. But the next battle we're going to be seeing right now, it's confusing, sorry. I'm looking at the ladder and talking, and I do this a lot. My wife tells me sometimes, but I tell her things that I'm thinking in my head. And actually, I'm not saying it, so she's like, what are you talking about? I get that a lot too. So I got to work on a couple of things. With the pen clicking and speaking out and telling people what I really want to know or what I'm really thinking before assuming.
Yeah.
But now we're going to go back to the battle. This is going to be the one more time battle of car number 328. Shinichiro Saito going against car number 5, Tomoki Tanaka. Tanaka qualified 10th yesterday, and Saito Shinichiro qualified 23rd. Saito is the father of Saito Shoya, which is also in the competition, but he had to go home early because he did not qualify yesterday due to issues with his car. So it's a dad and son drift team. Really, really cool to see. And also Tanaka is in a brand new build for this FD Japan series. Really clean build, JZX 100 Chaser. From Team Tetsujin on Good Rides. They're both actually on Good Rides. Shinichiro Saito is also on Good Rides too. Both cars have the 2J engine, just the different chassis. One is a 180, one is a JZX 100 Chaser. Man, everybody in the world loves these JZX chassis because I gotta say they're really, really comfortable. They're very stable to drive. Really, really great drift cars. And now this two favorite drift cars are going to be going into the battle, and Tanaka actually goes over, hits the cone, and oh man, I think Tanaka slowed down there going onto the outside and didn't get back onto the, that actually screwed up Saito coming out of the outside zone 1. But Saito made a huge mistake after outside zone 3 to 4, and he straightened completely, so that might be an incomplete. So right here, Tanaka doesn't keep his angle, kind of pulls angle and kind of almost stalls, and that kind of screws with Saito. So I understand the correction there, but after here, Saito just gets lost in the smoke and comes straight out of the smoke after Tanaka drives by. So that was not an incomplete by neither of the drivers until Saito got to outside zone 3 to 4 and he straightened, so we're going to have to count that as an incomplete of the chase car.
So now they're switching places.
All right, so we're just talking to the judges about the lead to lead, chase to chase. So now Saito did get an incomplete when he was chasing, and Tanaka's lead was actually sloppy too. So it was not a clean lead run by Tanaka. Now we're gonna switch it and see how they do. And depending on how Saito leads and depending on how Tanaka chases, we're going to be looking at the lead, how the lead cars do and how the chase cars do. We compare the lead to lead versus chase to chase. So there can be a couple ways, different scenarios to the end of this story, who's going to move on. Well, let's see how they do, and I'll explain it to you as soon as we make the call. So Saito initiates, fairly clean initiation, takes the car all the way out to the outside zone 1, blazes through outside zone 2. Tanaka is in proximity, but he is a little further away. So I would have to say, my guess, I think Saito's mistake after the after the first half of his chase run is pretty big. And right here, Tanaka is kind of playing it safe. He can get a little closer too, but I don't think it's to the point where he has an inactive chase where if you're holding back too much, where we can ding you for that too. So Saito's lead one was really good. So if I would say lead to lead, Saito took it completely by and beat Tanaka on the lead run, but I would have to say Tanaka's chase, he didn't zero out and he didn't incomplete. So Saito incompleted for his chase run. So that's how it's going to go. So all three judges, our decisions were...
So the winner is, I'm sorry, car number 5, Tomoki Tanaka.
Yep, Tomoki Tanaka is going to be going against
top 16.
Junya Ishikawa for top 16.
その後、2コーナーから3コーナーで斉藤が戻っちゃいました。ということで、一応そこでもう斉藤の後追いが0点。
So just a quick explanation of the track, the battle we just had right now. Tanaka made a huge mistake coming off of or after the initiation. Saito looked like he was affected by the slowdown he had or the angle change he had. But after that, after they were leaving outside zone 2, Saito straightened out going to outer zone 3. So we had to give Saito an incomplete. Tanaka did not zero out. He didn't incomplete his lead run. So he made a run, but it was a low energy run. And then when they switched, Saito did a great lead run, or fairly well lead run, but Tanaka did not zero out. It wasn't an inactive chase. He didn't do anything to incomplete himself. Not the proximity we want to see, just because it's safe. He was playing it a little safe because he thought he probably had the win, but he actually did get the win. So Tanaka moves on. And man, I think time goes by pretty fast because we're at the last battle of this top 32 bracket. Who is going to be going against car number 18, Tetsuya Iha from Okinawa in the Toyota Crown. He was a 27 qualifier, but he did beat Tadahiro Fukada. Not beat, but he had a bye run because Fukada's car was broken.
Yes.
and he could not make the run, so he made his bye run, and he is now in the top 16, waiting for this next battle to find out who his opponent is going to be. Is it going to be the super veteran, car number 15, Katsuhiro Ueno, or the brand new, not brand new, but a super rookie, first time in Formula Drift Japan Series, car number 80, Yuta Komatsu. Actually, Komatsu qualified higher. He qualified at 11. His qualifying run was really good, and his practice runs were pretty nice too. So this is going to be really interesting. Ueno dove in. Shallow line, and now he's trying to catch up. Komatsu is wide line. Oh, and Komatsu threw too much angle after his transition and straightened out after outside zone 3. He just threw it all away. He just threw it all the way. He threw it away. I mean, his lead run looked really good up until outside zone 3, but the transition, I think he was going for the hard flick, and it looked like he threw too much angle. Right here, this would have been a disadvantage for a chase car to dive in like that, so he couldn't go too angle. But looks like he filled the outside zone 2 really good. But right here, after the transition, going to the outside zone 3, Komatsu threw way too much angle, almost spun out, and he saved it, and he straightened the car out, which ends up we're gonna have to give him an incomplete. Look at that, he fills the outside zone really good, going for the outside zone 3, crazy angle, and had to straighten it out. Almost went off course. Well, he did go off course, 2 tires or 1 tire, but that doesn't even matter because he straightened out before that, and that's going to be an incomplete for the lead car. And I think Ueno did a great job after his little bobble after the initiation. He was pretty much within proximity of Komatsu. So this is called the veteran S15. Valino tire S15 with a VR38. Katsuhiro Ueno, he's been a D1 champ before, and he's been in the Formula Drift Series for a while, and he is a veteran going against a brand new rookie driver, which is doing great this weekend. Car number 80, Yuta Komatsu. And Komatsu is supposed to be here with a Lexus IS350, which is a new build, but I guess this car is a rental. He's borrowing this car from his good friend, a guy named Kawashima. So he's actually doing really good in a rental car. Yeah. But right now, that did not look good enough because his lead run, it could have been a really good lead run, but he kind of threw it all away. Well, let's see what happens, because you never know what's going to happen until you swap places. And here we go, the veteran Katsuhiro Ueno, also famous from his Hachiroku, and now it looked like he came out the gate slowly, and Komatsu is chasing him, and now there's a gap. And Ueno actually does a great run leading, and Komatsu falls behind. But I don't think it really matters because Komatsu's big mistake he made chasing is going to hurt him right now. See right here, I think there was a bad timing where Komatsu kind of went early and Ueno kind of creeped out of the chicane, the start chicane, so the timing was off right there. Ueno did a beautiful run filling both of the zones, or actually all of the zones. Good amount of angle, good amount of commitment on gas throughout the whole track. Komatsu did a really great job behind him, but not enough proximity, and his lead run is going to hurt him. So this is an easy call for the judges because the win is going to car number 15, Katsuhiro Ueno. Good job to the rookie driver, car number 80, Yuta Komatsu, in a borrowed car, but the veteran is on top, going against car number 18, Tetsuya Iha at the top 16. So this is going to be an interesting, there's a couple of drivers that usually are in the top 16 that aren't anymore, and they're knocked out early. So it looks like half of the people are going to be the new faces that we haven't seen before, or haven't seen so much in competition. so it's going to be exciting. I know a lot of the drivers aren't used to driving at this track because nobody's been here before. This is the first time we're holding the Formula Drift Japan Series, and this is our season opener because of the whole postponing because of the COVID-19 situation we have right now.
Yes.
We will still try to have the 5 rounds we have, and we have that scheduled for the rest of the year. End of the month this year, we're going to be at Okuibuki, and that's going to be our round 2. This right here at Sportsland Sugo is supposed to be the round 3 in our competition, but we moved back the first 2 competitions till later this year, and now we are making this the season opener. But like we said, Miyagi Prefecture, this is a beautiful prefecture. We're surrounded by a lot of nature. That means bugs too.
Everywhere.
Yeah, my wife would be freaking out right now. But not so much bugs, it's not that bad, I'm just joking. But very nice track, pits are great, the elevation change is cool. This is like a new twist to our drifting series that we have here. Very interesting, and we're seeing a lot of new cars and different drivers. Some of the veterans are coming back and some of the new guys are coming into the series, so it's going to be exciting. And let me go ahead and go over the battles that we have. Oh, well, actually, we're going to have to close out right now. So we're going to be back for the top 16 battle a little later today.
Yes.
And hopefully, I think we're going to be on time. I think we're on schedule, but let me go ahead and double check. So we should be on schedule.
Yes.
All right, so the top 16 opening ceremony will start at 2 o'clock to 2:20, and the top 16 tournament all the way up into the final is going to be from 1430, which is 2:30 in the afternoon till 4:40 in the afternoon. That's Japan time, so make sure you guys have your alarms and everything set so you can come back to watch the cool battles and the crazy tandem battles that we're going to have for the top 16 all the way to the finals. We're looking to see, it's probably going to be about 2 hours long. I'm just happy to be back.
I'm happy to be
at a
back
drift
too.
event, and you know I love doing this. I love watching this. So make sure you're back. Don't go. Well, you can go anywhere. You can go somewhere now, but make sure you're back for this.
And please stay tuned.
Yeah, and stay tuned. I'll see you guys a little later today. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Robbie.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you. See you soon.
See you soon.
ねえねえ、雨の日の運転ってちょっぴり心配だよね。いざという時にちゃんと止まれるタイヤ、ウエット A。 ウエット A。
ウエットグリップ性能 A のタイヤなら雨でもしっかり止まれて高い安全性を発揮。滑りやすい濡れた路面でもより
安心なやる。
横浜
革新のカーボンベゼル。